Today, we are going to be ranking all of the seasons within Fortnite. Obviously, we have Chapter 2, Season 3 coming in just a week. So in order to get hyped up for it, I thought we'd review all of the last, 12 seasons we've had and rank them from God Season to big yikes. And then we also have small yikes, average, and really fun. Obviously, before we get started, you may have a different opinion than me. This is my opinion. I'm just doing this for a little bit of fun before we get into the next season of Fortnite. If you guys are going to enjoy it, make sure to leave a like rating down below. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you guys are picking up the Battle Pass next season, make sure to be supporting a creator. I'd very much so appreciate it if you support me. That'll be code Lockie in the Fortnite item shop. And aside from that, let's jump into it. If you guys didn't know, I've been playing Fortnite pretty much non-stop since it came out in Season 0. I have played all the seasons, and I'm only judging all the seasons off of 3 criteria. One was just impactful for me. I feel like as a creator, obviously the ones where I had the most success and Fortnite saw the most success, I'm going to rank higher. Next up, just general gameplay mechanics, new mechanics that were added to the game, not only at the start of the season, but throughout. And then third, of course, events, whether or not they were cool or not, will affect my final decision on them. So let's get started. Season 1, we had the first kind of XP system within Fortnite. You could of course use these levels to buy skins. That's right, you had to get levels to buy the skins in the store. Of course, that being Aerial Assault Trooper and Renegade Raider. I have Renegade Raider, I don't have Aerial Assault Trooper. Back then, gameplay, no one really knew how to play. The Storm Circle had hexagons on it, and that I kind of want that back. That kind of looked cool. The big thing though is that double pumps, or just pump shotguns in general, were so overpowered. But you'd also hit the occasional 6 or 5 or 12 and it would be a big meme back then. So it kind of balanced it out. But if you were half decent and you knew how to double pump in Season 1, you were winning Fortnite every game. I unfortunately wasn't that good back then. So wasn't that good at the game. I was barely getting my first wins and stuff like that. Now, nostalgia aside, I have to rank Season 1 pretty highly because it literally started everything. And I would say it started my addiction to Fortnite. And for that, again, I'd have to rank really highly. I was building sky bases with Elliot, just having fun, playing the game for memes. I mean, I still do. I'd have to put it into really fun. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it God Season because there was a lot of bugs and stuff. It was kind of in beta most of the time. And the item shop was still kind of developing. I think we had Skull Trooper in there too. I think in Season 1. I'm not too sure. Actually, could have been Season 2. It was rough around the edges, but it was good, and everyone can say that. Season 2, this is when we knew stuff was getting real. When they went from Season 1 to Season 2, they came in with the Battle Pass. We had that big snow loading screen. It was just whoa, what is this? This is a different game now. And Season 2 is when I really started to take Fortnite kind of seriously. I was posting a lot of Fortnite, trying to cover anything and everything that I could. And yeah, we had the elf skin come out, of course, Black Knight, all that cool stuff. Who can forget? We got Tilted Towers and all those other new POIs to the map, which, very iconic at the time. Also, of course, can't forget, it was the first actual battle pass. And that again really led to being impactful for whoa, this is crazy. This is Fortnite now. I really do have to put this down as an iconic season of Fortnite. I put it down as God Season. It was still double pumps running the game, but I had some of the most fun playing Season 2 personally. All right, next up, Season 3, another impactful season for me here on YouTube. Probably one of the better seasons I had on YouTube as a whole. I'd love to check my view counts for each season because I think it peaked around 5 or 6, and everything before that was a slow build up. And Season 3 was where I really feel I hit something big. So gameplay stuff, I think we had double pump nerfed just before the start of Season 3, but they just nerfed the pull out time a little bit, or I think they made it so you could still switch your tack. I'm not sure. Double pump / pump tack, double shotguns were still pretty good. And who could forget all the John Wicks running around used to cause havoc everywhere. If you saw John Wick, you'd actually be scared, even though realistically the kid just bought 100 tiers on day 1 and still wasn't really good at the game. This is also the season when Fortnite really started to introduce LTMs. We had Solid Gold for the first time and a couple other ones, I think. Really cool stuff just being added to the game that you could really create a lot of good content with, including random stuff where backflip emotes and stuff. I remember when that came out. It's back when when an emote came out in the store, it was a big deal. As far as new items and stuff, we had C4 and the heavy shotguns. I remember when the double heavies came out. That was a big deal. Of course, llamas as well being added. This is just when so much cool stuff just being added to the game, and I was loving it. Also, one of my favorite videos I ever filmed probably was the new legendary guided missile launcher. I remember hopping on update night, seeing this missile launcher, being I can't believe that is this game, getting a dub on day 1, which was super hard because it was super rare, posting it, and then just seeing a lot of views the next day. Just getting up on YouTube with the day 1 dub was really hard back then. and I was just super happy with that video. Such a good season. And I remember where Fortnite was at this point. They were just taking a fat dub every week. It was like, oh, hey, we've got mobile coming out, which was like the first of its type for like an open VR to like play mobile with PC. I feel like that was pretty groundbreaking at the time. I'd honestly have to put this down as a god season. It also started to build kind of a storyline with that thing in the sky. And then towards the end of the season, meteors started falling and like it was just chaos and sick. I have to put this down as God season, and it's probably at the front of the God seasons because it's just so good. Next up, season 4. I remember this. I was in Toronto at the time. Season 4 just come out. It was the first kind of season for me because normally I do all of my new seasons here in Australia where it's like 6 p.m. in the afternoon. I had to stay up to 4 a.m. to play this bad boy like everyone else in America. And I remember just staying up all night and just being so hyped to play it. Obviously, with the start of season 4, we had the divot in Dusty, which was like just like the start of this awesome story, which if I'm going to be honest, that was peak storyline. I think was like season 3 or 4. And I feel like around 9x, they just lost it. They're still trying to recover it because I don't think there's any story in the game right now. But just like logging on and just like seeing the divot, the hot rocks everywhere, the superhero battle pass. Everyone thought Wonder Woman was in the game. Everyone thought Superman was coming out. It hasn't come out yet, but probably in a year from now, I would expect it with all the DC and Marvel collabs. Speaking of which, this is the season we got Thanos, and I gotta tell you, man, I remember waking up one morning, checking Twitter, and seeing a Fortnite X Marvel like collab poster with a Omega and a Thanos, and I was like, yep. Fortnite taking another weekly dub. That game mode, by the way, like just super fun. You'll never see anything like it again, where just you can just absolutely obliterate everybody in a solo game. It was, you can't describe how fun it was. And I really hope we get an Avengers 3 just to run it back one time. And I don't even know if we're getting that, but Infinity Gauntlet was just the best. As far as gameplay mechanics, it wasn't too crazy. They were starting to roll out some type of competitive mode, handing out V-Bucks, which was the first iteration of competitive. We had the burst gun, I think. We had the jetpacks get added to the game after they got delayed from the last season. So that was kind of cool. During the season, they also threw the first Fortnite Pro-Am at E3. I played with Robbie and Mel. It was a super fun time. Became like 48th out of 50 teams, but you know, it was fun. And aside from that, I think we had the thermal scope AR, so nothing too crazy there. And then they nerfed the SMG. Other items added, dual wielder pistols, stink bombs, still stuff to make daily content on. There was so much stuff, dude. I'm looking at all the view counts here. 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 8 million. Like everyone was just loving Fortnite right now. Also at the end of season 4, we had the first iteration of playground mode, which at the time was groundbreaking. And now you'd never play it because of creative mode and stuff. But that was just another like really awesome time for YouTube. I remember just being like having to work really niche videos into the standard battle royale games without custom key codes was painful. And then Playground came out and it was like opened the door to so many ideas. And yeah. And then who could forget the first Fortnite event, the rocket ship? Like that was groundbreaking to see an event in game. Like there was the first of its kind online event. I remember watching it with Elliot. Like it was just like, what are we doing right now? And again, I hate to be like this and only making all the good seasons the best seasons, but it just feels like these first few seasons were so groundbreaking for a video game that like to only not put them in God season would be a crime. So for that reason, and the fact that we also got Drum Gun, which would make me bring it down a tier, but because of everything else, God season, like it was, and it's facts. And then we have season 5. We had Drift in the battle pass, and I was like, yo, that's me right there. I don't think I was maining Elf at the time, so I think I was still using the Drift skin. But another amazing season. We had the rifts everywhere. They were dope. And just gameplay at the time. I remember this was when I was a bot, but I was decent, but I was still a bot. I was mainly still focusing on playground type videos and whatnot. But season 5, I swear, it was like peak update night fun. When update night was a thing, season 5, they just delivered every week, man. They had P90s, and I gotta tell you, day 1 P90. These kids, they complaining about the drum gun mythic, or you mate, you don't know nothing about day 1 legendary P90, because that thing laughs all over the current mythic drum gun, trust me. And it's just kind of a shame because you don't see stuff like that anymore. I feel like it just gets reviewed so much that they just want to keep it fair, which I get, but chaos is fun. in my opinion. On top of that, we had shockwave grenades. They were pretty dope. We had the Galaxy skin collab. That was the first kind of mobile phone collaboration we'd seen. We'd had the Xbox ones in a couple of previous seasons, but I remember the Galaxy skin being pretty impactful. Then we had the grappler as well in season 5. Grappler was pretty dope, and we can all agree about that. Still pretty much during that peak playground mode kind of gameplay, I'd say. It was very much so just enjoying playing Fortnite at that point. This is when I did a lot of like the random skin challenges and stuff like that on my channel. This is where I'd say was like peak challenge video on YouTube, at least. The gameplay was just so clean. And then season 5, I feel like again was just when they really got the community involved. That's when we had Kevin the Cube spawn, and he was just rolling around the map, and everyone was trying to like get videos of getting crushed by 100 people. And just, I think it spawned during like a competitive event, like a summer skirmish or something like that. So just like really cool stuff. And then towards the end of the season, things would like disappear from the map, like the tomato thing and everything, and everyone was like, oh, what's gonna happen to the map? Everything's getting rifted away. And then at the end of the season, Kevin the Cube, of course, went into the lake and then made the lake all bouncy, and that was really dope. And then of course we went into season 3. But as far as putting it on the tier list, I want to put it halfway between really fun and God Season, if I'm going to be honest. But I feel like I've done God Season too many times in a row to the point where it's lost all meaning. But at the end of the day, it was God Season. So like, what do you want me to do? Like, not put it God Season? Like, it was. I'm trying to think of what the problems were at the time. And like, up until season 5, there wasn't any problems. I feel like everyone just didn't have problems with the game. I might be wrong. I might be forgetting things because they were like a long time ago. But I feel like not having duos at a certain time of the night was the biggest problem we had as players. At least in Australia. Alrighty, season 6. This is where I feel like it got a little bit interesting. Season 6, I actually started off with a bang. I remember update day, we had the island floating around and all that cool jazz. And at this point in time, I was falling behind the average player. I was actually having a very hard time playing the game. I actually did my first season 6 video with Fresh after I just played a couple games within the day before. And then so he helped me get my season 6 video and helped me get a bunch of, you know, videos out that kind of season. That's when we played a lot of Fortnite together. And he was teaching me how to become a better player. So I was enjoying to play the game more as I was getting better. Lots of cool videos that I remember posting here. Just like hiding his stuff was pretty like much the deal. The shadow cubes were dope. Like I loved the bunny hop mechanic with the shadow cubes, man. Oh, that was fire. I think we had the quad crasher in season 6 as well, so that was cool. That kind of like vehicle, because last we had the ATK, but no one really used the ATK. But quad crasher with the cool flip thing, everyone was using it. And then a couple other things like ice traps and stuff like that. This is when me, Fresh, and the twins set the PC record for elims in Fortnite. I'll never forget that. Then, of course, we had zombies, which I actually liked at the time. Not a lot of people had mixed feelings about the zombies. I actually liked them. There was a couple situations late game where they became really annoying. They had the 6-shooter, but it like really sucks, so no one really liked 6-shooters. Probably like the least favorite weapon I've ever had, next to bottle rockets, of course. And then we had Halloween again, Fortnite mares. We had Skull Trooper come back. A lot of kids got angry on the internet. Balloons, I love balloons. Anyone else love balloons? Because I like the balloons. Can we get the balloons back? And like I said, this is when things started to turn a little bit. Like we had the mounted turret, and that was the first headache I think in game we had. It was the turret. You couldn't shoot them in the head at point blank when they first came out, and they didn't fix it for a while. That was kind of annoying. That was like the first iteration of a mech in my opinion. And yeah, just other things like dynamite. Just like and of course, no, C4. Actually, I take that back. C4 in like season 5 and 6 were a little annoying. I take that back. There was little annoying things like that. But yeah, dynamite, another one of those ones that you didn't really love seeing. Now, the season 6 event, I didn't actually get to play and stream and record because I was at the YouTube rewind shoot that they didn't really put me in. Good trade that was. And so I actually played it on my phone in the Uber to the way of the YouTube rewind shoot. I remember being like, wow, this is so sick. Like, just, you know, I was like touching a butterfly. The music was all suspense. It's definitely like one of the best, I'd say top 3 Fortnite events. Because of a few gameplay lacking things, I might have to put it down into really fun. Wasn't bad. It's still better than average. And by average, I mean just like mediocre. I was excited to play and log on and play Fortnite. So again, my opinion, really fun. This is looking kind of stacked right here. Now, season 7, launch creative mode. Massive W. And not even just from the creative side of things, the battle royale itself. I remember the first couple weeks of season 7, I was so excited to just get the twins, get Fresh, play squads. Just fun. Like, it was just super fun Fortnite. And I remember actually because I went to the Epic headquarters to review creative mode and stuff like that with all the other creators. Obviously, we had the sword getting added to Fortnite, which was like very controversial. I loved it personally because I love chaos. And, you know, it was just like the absolute rat race on the first couple days. And it still was like a week later when like the sword was there and it was just first to grab it. Whoever grabbed it just ate everyone around him because you got like siphon inbuilt in it and you could build and you could do all sorts of dumb stuff. And they had it in like one of those skirmishes and the guy got like a bunch of free cash because like it was just broken. I think we had wraps at it for the first time. That was kind of groundbreaking. Just a lot of good skins. Creative mode was at its peak, and obviously it being Christmas, there was so much stuff going on with the, you know, Christmas skins coming back, except the elf, which was kind of weird at the time. The weapon and item updates to the game weren't too crazy. We had the boombox, which if I had to think about something that added to the game that got the least amount of like time in the game, I think it was the boombox. Just no one liked it. No one really, so meh. And then towards Christmas time, we had a bunch of those awesome LTMs get added, which was, you know, just dope. Silent sniper rifle, which was pretty sick. And then of course we had the ice zombie event, which I actually think wasn't that good of an event. I remember watching it live and seeing the last one on my phone and then going to this and being like, well, went back under the bar a little bit there. And people had a mixed reception to zombies coming back, so that kind of, you know, tainted it a little bit. Aside from that, the snowmans were cool. The chiller grenades were cool. I liked that. We had the first AO back then as well, which was a lot of fun. I came nowhere. For the most part, season 7, as far as content creation, was just a lot about the creative mode stuff that was coming out, and there was a lot of it. Then we had infantry rifles coming to the game, which I believe weren't that great because they were like not hit scan and they only had 8 bullets, and everyone was like, why would I use this? Why would I use an AK? So that was a bit interesting. Driftboards are dope. I'd love to see a driftboard back next season. Dude, driftboards in like the last 2 seasons would have been dope. I'm just saying. Love driftboards. Big dub. But before we wrap up season 7, probably one of the last things they did, which was a massive from the creator side of things, was the 4-time supporter creator, with of course players getting a wrap if they used a code. Haven't seen anything like that in terms of like using a code to receive something in game. I think as far as creators go, that was probably one of the biggest things that we've seen from Epic yet, and would definitely love to see more of that in the future. And here's the problem. I want to give this God season 2 because times for supporter creator aside, this was a dope season. Like you had the snow, like everyone loaded up first game and just went, what? You know, like this was just insane. And so for that, I'm going to hit with really fun. Yeah, no, really fun Fortnite. They're all really good. Oh, and I also forgot season 7 had planes. I liked planes. People didn't like planes. That's probably why I put it under really fun. Alrighty, season 8. Another one of my good seasons, I think. Like, I love season 8, man. Season 8 was sick. We had so much stuff added to the game. We had the Peely skin, which I feel like was the most impactful skin we had in half a minute. Creative mode was really starting to flourish with really awesome maps. We had the Flint Knock pistol, which is one of my like favorite things they added to the game. I think it's the most balanced thing they've ever added, and still chaotic and fun. Love to see it back next season for sure. Hopefully it will, with the whole underwater theme, maybe a little pirate theme gets clashed in there, even though we already did that. And we had Flora's Lava like come out for the first time. That was nuts. That was the first LTM where you were like, what is going on? Sick LTM. Also had hamster balls. Now, hamster balls were interesting. Competitive players hated them, understandably. And they were, yeah. I don't know about those guys. They were interesting. I liked them for World Cup. This is also when the World Cup was on, season 8. And I played with Fresh. The hamster balls, like, I feel like made everyone worse players than they could have been. If there was no hamster balls, I feel like the progression of skill would have elevated a lot in season 8, but it didn't because of hamster balls, because bad players could get away with just boinging around the map. But hey, I loved it, so I'm not trying to complain about it. Then we had the boom bow, cool item. I liked it. It was frustrating to get tagged for like 100 across the map for not doing anything wrong, but I liked it. I liked the bow. You go open a chest, you get a bow, you're like, oh, let's go. Then aside from that, we had legendary infantry rifle, which is pretty cool. Thanos came back. Again, not as good as the first time. Still good. Like, you had all the Avengers this time and sick. Still dope. And then we had the smoke bombs as well. One of my favorite items for competitive. That was dope. And then just at the end of it, I did my creative World Cup map qualifier, which was really dope for me as a personal experience. I really liked putting on that show and having a team qualify and then taking them to New York. That was super cool. I wonder if we'll see something like that again in the future, because I really enjoyed that. But yeah, that was season 9. And then at the end of season 8, we had the event, which mine actually glitched out. So a little bit of a hog on that one. That was really frustrating because like we were in game, countdown counted to 0, and then, well, nothing to show for it. That was frustrating. And then there was an unvaulting where you could like pick to unvault something, and of course every kid in the world picked drum gun. Not me though, I didn't get to play it. But best believe if I got through, I was picking drum gun. Also, the thing with season 8 to remember as well is that if you played season 7 and did the overtime challenges, you got season 8 for free, which was pretty insane. Every skin was hybrid skin. It was like the default skin of season 8. And then of course, Tilted Towers got destroyed by the volcano, and Retail Row got destroyed. Pretty cool. I have to put season 8, if I'm gonna be honest, at really fun. Like, it was really fun. It wasn't as good as season 7 in my opinion. So it's still really good. All right, season 9. I tell you what, this is the first season that started off and I was like, oof, I don't know about this, chief, because they took away the pump shotguns and everyone, including myself, was very skeptical. I remember, I think the combat's actually broken on day 1 because they didn't work well. I remember everyone was running around with the blue tack as the new shotgun. That was an edgy start. I feel like the edgiest start we'd had yet for a season. We had Fort Bites, which I think was the most mundane challenge thing we'd ever had yet. Had the 14 Days of Summer. That was pretty sick. New gamers, LTMs every day. That was cool. Had the Michael Jordan collab. That was kind of dope. Little Nike there. Then we had the John Wick collab as well. We had the John Wick skin and the Continental in Tilted Towers. That was dope. That was really cool. And that was actually what the World Cup was played on, was season 9. So combat shotguns, smoke grenades, tactical ARs, stuff like that. And you know, it did take a couple weeks for people to get used to the combat shotgun. And when they did, they really did enjoy the combat shotgun, I feel like. It just took a while to get around to it. And we had other cool things as well, like loot supply drones. That was the first time we'd had something like that, and we haven't seen it since. And then there was, you know, the burst SMG, which again, another one of those weapons I feel like are items that just didn't hit well at all. I hate that gun. The way it just recoiled made it just irritating to play with. No one likes that gun ever. And I think we had storm flips as well, which was kind of actually a very cool chaotic item. I appreciated that. Chug splashes as well. Nice change to the game. I'd love to see them back. And of course, legendary revolver. A lot of stuff still being added to the game at this point, and there was a lot to make content on. I remember automatic shotgun, a lot of unique game modes like headshot only, overpowered, where you get health over time. It was good. Then there was another pro-am in season 9 as well. That was fun. I actually got 9th at that one, which was actually more money for charity, which was sick. I had to sweat hard because my teammate Cody Walker, like, he played Fortnite but didn't play Fortnite like RL Grime did. So, you know, a little bit of weight on my shoulders, but thankfully all the Duo World Cup sessions with Fresh kind of had me prepped for it. So that was fun. And we had airstrike grenades, which everyone was just like, what's going on here? That was kind of interesting. And for the event, I'd say the best event I've actually got to witness was that one next to Travis Scott, I'd say. Like, that was a really good event. But I just have to say, from like general enjoyment, I might have to put season 9 on average. Like, it was the first season that I was kind of, as a creator, a little bit exhausted from actually too much chaos, I feel like, and just the switch to combat shotgun made me had to learn a whole set of mechanics. Like, people don't realize, because we've had pump shotguns for a long time now, if we go back to combat, it is a different game. Like, if you have one and not the other, it is a different game you were playing. You can take fights at longer distances, and it's just accuracy. That's all it is. So that was kind of rough on me, but I enjoyed season 9. Probably one of my least favorite seasons. And I feel like season 9 was just getting us prepped for season 10. Full disclosure, my least favorite season, without a doubt. Like, oof. I remember, like it's just hard because I'm almost biased in that I just automatically want to just chuck them in big yikes. But I'm not gonna yet. We're gonna go through it first. Because mechs. Oh my god. Mechs, man. You don't know the pain if you didn't play season 10. Mechs just absolutely wanted you to bash your skull against your desk. They were so infuriating. You die to someone and just be like, I have just been outplayed by Timmy. Like, you know what I mean? hit different. I was trying to do challenge videos, trying to really get better at Fortnite, and just Timmy would just hit me up with a mech and ruin a video, and I would just rage. That being said, though, season 10 did have some highlights. We had zombies come back yet again, which everyone was like, whatever. Retail became like zombie land. They kind of like did portals around the map that like took them back in certain places. So we had Tilted Towers become Tilted Town. That was kind of cool, actually, how like you couldn't build and stuff. So that was dope. I liked aspects of season 10, but they were, for me, overshadowed by the mechs, and I feel like I couldn't enjoy it as much. Another redeeming factor was that they had the Fortnite Showdown Under for Australia. That was like one of the redeeming factors, and I got to tell you, losing the potential of lots of money to die into a mech, oh, that hit different. We had cool stuff like gun game. I don't know if that was the first iteration of it, but that was like a really fun time. And then towards the end of season X, we actually had the combat shotgun get vaulted, which was kind of interesting. And it hasn't been back since September 2019. So we're coming up to a year without the combat shotgun. Fortnite was really hitting nostalgia hard. Season 9, you know, TAC SMGs came back with the Starry Suburbs place. We had Zone Wars as like an actual playlist, which was dope. Probably one of the highlights, I'd say, for that season. I just remember season 10 being such a struggle to make content. I was just sitting down at my desk and being like, what do I do? Do I play with the mechs, or do I just nah? And most of the time it was just nah. But the build up towards the end of the season was super dope. The event at the end of the season I actually errored loading into, so that just adds to the yikes. I feel like I have to say, like, season 10, I have to put it as big yikes. Like, again, my opinion, personally, it's just the hardest thing to log on and play that I've had playing Fortnite since. And I would love to know Fortnite's player counts for each season. Season 10 has to be the lowest. Like, it just has to be, because I feel like everyone was just so exhausted of the game at that point. But then that's okay, because we got chapter 2 season 1. And I gotta tell you, people might have mixed feelings, but the new map, love it. I actually love it. I actually do love the new map. Fishing, such a groundbreaking like mechanic, and it's small, but it just added like a nice little touch to it. And of course the swimming as well, just like a new different type of environment. And I can't wait to see what they do with the underwater kind of, I mean, it's assumed there's going to be underwater swimming in season 3. That's going to be really interesting to find out and see how that all works. But there was just so many cool things in it. I mean, the mythic goldfish, just stuff like that where it's 1 in a million. Like, I love that stuff. The only drawback for chapter 2 season 1 and chapter 2 season 2 is that there just wasn't any updates. It feels like season 9 and season X was too much, and then it was like chapter 2 was just the complete opposite. They went from too much to too little, and season 5, 6, and everything in between was like right in that sweet spot. Like, for the whole of chapter 2 season 1, we had a harpoon gun get out of the game, and that was it. I think AK side grade, and that was it. On top of that, we had like the Star Wars collab, which was cool. The event didn't play for me. I have a really good, you know, luck with getting into Fortnite events. So that didn't play for me, but I watched it with my brother, and it didn't look that great in my opinion. We had this lightsabers get added, which was cool, but I know they were very annoying for a lot of players. And they came back in chapter 2 season 2, but I don't think people liked them then either. Aside from that, wasn't a whole lot going on. We had the elf come back. He got a new style. That was kind of cool. And towards the end of the season, we had fashion shows pop off. That was what I was doing a lot of on the channel. They were a lot of fun to host. But if I am going to be honest, it still was quite a hard time to make content in chapter 2 season 2. Still hard, I felt. Challenging to say the least. But me and Fresh did win a Fortnite Pro-Am in this season, so certified big dub all around. I hosted Fashion Show World Cup round 1. That was fun too. And then there was a couple of meme stuff we did towards the end. But as far as ranking goes, I don't know. I'm between really fun and average. Like, fishing was cool. Playing the game was cool. Not a lot was added in between. Like, the impact at the start was there, but then they just dropped the ball throughout the season. And I feel like a lot of that was working on that Star Wars event that I feel like didn't live up to the hype of it. So for that reason, I'd say, because I actually spent a lot of time trying to get better at the game in chapter 2, I would probably say I would say really fun. It was really fun still at the end of the day. I still logged on to Fortnite, but it was kind of like season 10 or season X vibes, where it was hard to play sometimes because it was just a little boring. And then, you know, of course, new season got knocked back, all that fun stuff. And then last last but not least is Chapter 2, Season 2. Now, full disclosure, the event hasn't happened yet. And this season isn't officially over, so it's hard to comment on it without the event. I'm assuming the event's going to be awesome, so I'll just say that off the bat. But as far as like mechanics out of the game, we had henchmen, which, you know, hit or miss. I feel like them having aimbot towards the second half of the season wasn't fun, but the bosses were cool. Mythics were kind of hit or miss. You know, some people liked that it was a risk versus reward, and some people hated the fact that if you take a 1v1 with a guy with a mythic, you had the underhand. Like, you were on the back foot as soon as the 1v1 started because they had a much superior loadout. Especially in competitive with the grappler, I feel like that really kind of top-sided placement in the end game. But if I'm gonna be honest, I had a lot of fun with this season. Like, we had the Deadpool collab, like really cool cosmetics, like the new gliders, like the bombs away glider and like the surfing kind of gliders. I love them. Like the way you interact with the battle pass to pick different sides of the skins that you want, upgrading Maya to have your own custom skin. We've never seen that before. So many new things in season 2 that I just have to appreciate off the bat. Cardboard boxes, which is a nice little meme item. Everyone loves a meme item. Proximity mines, which was and it comes up the back of Chapter 2 Season 1, where we didn't have much, and they didn't do much different in this season as well. Not a lot got added, and by that I mean during the season. At the front there was like miniguns and AKs and suppressed SMGs and suppressed snipers and suppressed ARs. Like at the start there was just like bang, and then it was dead for like the whole season. I think they added crash pads and the umbrella, and that was it for the mid-game, like the mid-season content. I guess mythic dual pistols on Deadpool, which, by the way, Marvel have to be mad at Fortnite for that, because they made Deadpool look weak. Those pistols suck, all right? Nobody, and I mean nobody, and they never buffed them the whole season. Why did they not do that? How they let every other POI, I'm picking a burn right now. Why they let every other mythic be good? And mythic pistols, just like, they have stats. They know how many people did not pick up that gun after they killed him versus the other ones. That remained crap the whole season. And if I was Marvel, I'd be kind of mad about it. But overall, the collab was sick. I'm just nitpicking here. Deadpool thing was awesome. And just having that integrated into the battle pass, I feel like was just cool. You know, coming back, what's the Deadpool challenge this week? Is Deadpool coming out? That was always fun. And I feel like the way they launched Deadpool with like him being a POI boss and stuff was perfect. I really liked that. And then on top of that, we had the Travis Scott event. Unanimously amazing event. No one can really say anything bad about it. It was sick. Travis Scott Icon Series skin, all that stuff was sick. FNCS Duos was interesting. I feel like there was a lot of performance issues when I played it that made it kind of hindering. And then they had FNCS solos, which I don't know really. I'm not a competitive player, so I can't really comment on that stuff, but I hate solos. I hate playing solos. I know a lot of competitive players hate playing solos. There's that. And now we're running it back season 3 for solos again, so yeet. And then obviously we had Recon Expert come back, the absolute rarest skin in the game for the item shop. Now the rarest skin is Renegade Raider and Aerial Assault Trooper, and they won't come back. And Purple Skull Trooper and Pink Gold Trooper. They're like the 4 skins that'll never come back. Skull Trooper and the Gold Trooper might, but the others won't. But yeah, to rank this season, I had a lot of fun with it. I played probably some of the most Fortnite in this season. I'd put it in really fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. And there's a lot of cool stuff added to the game, but again, lack of updates brings it down, and we're left with this. Now let me know what you think about my tier list. I don't know, like I may have gone a little in-depth in some of them, maybe not in-depth in others, but I feel like it's a pretty heavy-sided thing, and I think that makes sense though, because at the end of the day, I still think Fortnite is an amazing game. Like, kids want to joke around and say Fortnite dead, Fortnite this. Bro, you're kidding yourself if you think Fortnite's dead. It has been, over the last 2 or coming up on 3 years, the most fun game to play. I in 3 years have done nothing but play the game, and I've had options to play other games. Even when I'm vibing and chilling and not recording content, I still go play Fortnite, and I've been doing that for 3 years. So to say that my tier list is like lopsided, I mean, it is, but like that's just because I genuinely think it's a good season. And apart from this one, we don't talk about this one. I mean, Fortnite continues to make itself an amazing game. I'm just super excited to see what they do in Chapter 2 Season 3. I feel like we're gonna be swimming with the fishies, and it's gonna be a good time. So let me know what you guys thought about my tier list. If you guys want to tweet me your own tier list, make sure to tweet me. I want to see what you guys think is your favorites to your worsts. But yeah, that's been today's video. I hope you guys went on to enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to chuck us a like rating down below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.